opened. As a gesture of our heartfelt respect and in recognition of their distinguished service to the nation, we now present saplings to our honorable guests on the dais. To do the honors, I now request Honorable Sri Justice Sujay Pal Garu, Acting Chief Justice of Telangana High Court and Patron-in-Chief of SLSA, to kindly present a sapling to Honorable Mr. Justice Sri.A.Revanth, Judge, Supreme Court of India. Sapling. Ivama. May I now request Honorable Justice Moushami Bhattacharya Madam, Judge, High Court for the State of Telangana, to present a sapling. No, Sorry, Milord. I request Honorable Sri Justice P. Samkoshi Garu, Judge, High Court for the State of Telangana, to present a sapling to Honorable Sri Justice A.Revanth Reddy Garu. Sorry, my Lord. Honorable A.Revanth Reddy Garu, Chief Minister of Telangana State. May I now request Honorable Madam Justice Moushami Bhattacharya Madam to present a sapling to Honorable Sri Justice Sujay Pal Garu, Acting Chief Justice, High Court for the State of Telangana. May I now request Ms. Charu Sinha Madam, Additional DGP CID, Women Safety Wing, to present a sapling to Sri Dr. Jitendra IPS, DGP Telangana. Now I request Sri Dr. Jalalam B. Tafassi, Chief Field of Office, to kindly present a sapling to Madam Cynthia McCaffrey, representative of UNICEF India. Now I request all the dignitaries present on and off the dais and the esteemed guests, participants and everyone present in this auditorium to kindly rise for national song Vande Mataram. Thank you, my lords. Thank you. May I now request Madam Cynthia McCaffrey, representative of UNICEF India, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Madam, please.
Honorable Justice Sri.A.Revanth, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Sri Reddy, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Justice Paul, Acting Chief Justice of the High Court of Telangana, Dr. Jitendra, Director General of Telangana Police, all representatives distinguished from the Judiciary Government of Telangana, all stakeholders, namaskar. On behalf of UNICEF India, it is truly our honor to join you today at this landmark event that demonstrates the highest regard with which Telangana holds the protection of children's rights and well-being. And let me begin with this simple quote: "Justice is not served until it reaches the last woman standing in the queue." These are not words from an international convention. These are words written by Sri.A.Revanth, a charismatic social reformer of India who promoted girls' education and women's rights in the 19th century. And just this month, on July 2nd, the National Institute of Public Cooperation and Child Development was renamed Sri.A.Revanth National Institute of Women and Children Development, that recognizes the incredible leadership that India has had for women and children's rights. So it's long before any international conventions or international law that Phule gave us the accountability and the responsibility to defend those who are in the most need of their rights in even the hardest times. And India has stood at the helm, recognizing and also creating frameworks that are not just the minimum standard for children's rights, but constantly looking at how to ever expand the effort for children's rights and making sure that you're building a society that is a model across India, but also for the globe, to create a place where children can survive safely, but also to thrive and dream their dreams and reach their aspirations. So that's why it is particularly an honor to be here and to welcome all of us as we sit together with those of you who are creating the legal frameworks, and also those of you on the front lines, the first responders, police, judges, prosecutors, the social workers, counselors, our childline functionaries, civil society, families and communities themselves, who are meeting and trying to respond to difficult cases that help children to survive but also rehabilitate and thrive. Let me emphasize the following points as we think about the next 2 days. Foundation. The Convention on the Rights of the Child is the most ratified convention in the world. It is a marker of global cooperation that we are here to protect children's rights and their well-being. And protecting them from violence, protecting them to be safe, is a bedrock, a cornerstone of all their other rights. If a child is safe, then we're able to build on that, their health, their nutrition, their education. And then with that, they can grow resiliently. And so can nations around the world. Second, obligation. When we think about that foundation of rights, it reminds us that a child's rights is not a nice thing to do or a charitable thing. It's our obligation, it's our responsibility. And it's the whole of society that has to do it. It's cross-disciplinary. As we will talk about more and more today, sexual violence is pervasive globally. And it's harmful in many ways and for many reasons, including some deeply entrenched social norms. And so how do we work together to create that social power and change the social dynamics that enable children, and particularly those marginalized children, especially girls, to be able to have those rights? And at the same time, how do we look at the types of barriers that you're looking at every day that helps ensure disclosure and justice for individuals at every level, in every aspect, institutional and societal? I've talked about these prevalence. So what does that mean? As we look at India, some of the figures, if we look at NFHS 5 data from 2019 to 2021, almost 40% of women, 39% of women across India between the ages of 25 and 49 report having had sexual contact before the age of 18. Within that age group, 10% report having had sexual contact before the age of 15. In addition, India, and this state, is not just looking at the present challenges, but we're also looking at upcoming challenges like the internet, which creates opportunities, but it's also creating a global market for child sexual abuse materials and nefarious opportunities. So that is our foundation, obligation, and the third is demonstration. demonstrating that we can make change. And India has demonstrated how to make change through its strong legal and policy frameworks that protect children from sexual offenses online and offline. And it's commendable what India has done as we look at services that provide to survivors special courts, legal aid, support persons, one-stop centers, and other services that help rehabilitate children. And they build on strong foundations that we see in the Ministry of Women and Child Development through Shakti and Vatsalya missions. This demonstrates India's commitment, but also building these strong foundations and meeting its obligations for children. I'm glad to be here because I've had the opportunity to talk directly about Bharosa centers by the Telangana Women's Safety Wing, the She Teams, the Bal Raksha Bhavans of all child protection services coming under one roof, converged in one place, which is what children need. The efforts made in Hyderabad to issue identity certificates, Aadhaar, caste, disability, to all children wherever they are, care institutions, and all of these initiatives that build child protection across the state. My fourth is steadfast action. It's important to demonstrate what we're doing, but at the same time, how do we continue to expand action and the care journey that's necessary for a child so that they have professional restorative help throughout their journey. December 19th has been declared the Day of Prevention of and Healing from Child Sexual Abuse. It calls for 3 actions, and I put them on the table for our discussions in the days ahead. First is strong legislation that meet global standards, that can be a model and can be steadfast. India, I'm happy to note, and as I've said, has done so. Second is a call for strong child protection systems with adequate resources. And we're seeing that as we look at Mission Vatsalya and Shakti. December 19th also calls for supplementing that from states. And we're seeing that here in this state. How do you make sure you complement from all levels those strong child systems? And 3, December 19th calls for attention to working with communities. And here I would say it's worth our extra attention. We have to be where children live, learn, and play in order to protect them. Because in order to really make a change, we want to change some of the societal norms. And the greatest part of justice is prevention in the first place. So strengthening those investments in working with communities, working at the sub-district level that allows children to be seen when they're at risk, early detection, investing in things like teaching children about safety, creating child-friendly spaces that allows them to speak up about violence they may be experiencing. And all this helps to break silence and the stigma. Closer to communities also means it's easier to talk with adolescents who are often at a crossroads, and being able to talk to adolescents, giving them education that gives them agency, as well as the ability to make informed decisions. Comprehensive reproductive health can help bridge those gaps. And India is making great strides as it's working through the government of India's School of Health and Wellness program under Ayushman Bharat. These are very important practical interventions that make a difference. And I commend the Women and Safety Wing of the Telangana Police, which is taking these actions in similar strides. My 5th is partnership. UNICEF is very happy to be here, looking and working with partners like all of you. UNICEF works with government at the national level and at the state level in order to engage stakeholders, in order to help build capacity of workforce, those on the front lines, in order to help build systems that rehabilitate survivors and genuinely bring technical support that can help create child-friendly procedures, child-friendly spaces, and engage communities. So with that, I'd like to just reiterate the 5 points that I hope we build on here, and that UNICEF is committed to not just rattling off and saying we do these things, but how do we expand them even further and bring the lessons that the state is proving here across India, but also how does UNICEF take that globally and help protect children around the world. So building the dreams into reality. The foundation, our obligations to meet that, demonstration, steadfast action, and genuine partnership together. And I think Dr. Ambedkar, he summed it up best when he said, "It is not enough to dream of a better world. One must work tirelessly to make it a reality." So thank you to all of you who work tirelessly to make it a reality.
Thank you, Madam, for the warm welcome address. May I now request Sri Dr. Jitendra IPS, DGP Telangana, to address the participants. Sir, please.
Honorable guests for today's conference for ensuring justice, rehabilitation and reintegration for child victims, strengthening POCSO and child protection ecosystems. Honorable Justice Sri.A.Revanth, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority. Honorable Sri.A.Revanth Reddy Garu, Chief Minister of Telangana State. Honorable Justice Sujay Paul, Acting Chief Justice, High Court of State of Telangana and Patron-in-Chief, Telangana State Legal Services Authority. Cynthia McFerray, Representative of UNICEF in India. All the Honorable Justices of Telangana High Court, members of Judiciary, esteemed dignitaries, police and other government officials, civil rights experts, representatives of civil society and development partners, especially Ms. Charu Sinha, Chief of Women's Safety of Telangana Police, and Ms. Anita, Secretary for Women and Child Welfare Department, and all boys and girls, good morning. It is a privilege to be part of national platform that brings together key stakeholders committed to child protection and justice delivery under POCSO Act, Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act. At the outset, I extend my warm greetings to all the participants and commend the efforts of Judiciary, Women's Safety Wing of Telangana, Women and Child Welfare of Government of Telangana in organizing this critical and timely conference. POCSO Act and the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act are most significant legislations in this country towards child safety and dignity. Yet more than a decade after this enactment, we still face real challenges on the ground. Some challenges are like delays in trials, high rates of witness withdrawal, inadequate convergence between the systems, and most importantly, the risk of re-traumatizing the child while seeking justice. Conference rightly places its focus on rehabilitation and reintegration, not as secondary aspects but as central pillars of the justice process. In Telangana, we have tried to respond to these gaps through a unique systemic innovation that Bharosa Centers. It was established in Telangana and now it is scaled to 29 operational centers as one-stop crisis response and integrated support system for survivors of rape and child sex abuse. It brings together police, legal, medical and psychological services under one roof, away from police stations and hospitals as is evidently required by the POCSO Act. Every center has a dedicated child-friendly counseling room with age-appropriate material toys, visual tools and calm spaces to reduce fear and anxiety among the victims. Child psychologists and counselors trained in child-specific communication methods as well as medical and paramedical support persons provide key roles during this BNSS statement, medical examinations and helping investigating officers elicit trauma-informed disclosures. Dedicated support persons and legal support staff ensure that child and family are not left to navigate the justice system alone. An enabling ecosystem for POCSO should not be an isolated initiative. It is just enabler for the justice. We now operate one of the country's most advanced child-friendly courtrooms, facilitated through Hyderabad Bharosa Center, where children can depose without entering into so-called intimidating courtrooms environment. Does not have to confront the accused and feel free as well as confident. This is being scaled across all the districts in the state of Telangana. Convergence between Bharosa and juvenile justice system, including CWCs, DCPWs, JJBs and the courts, should grow further to become a comprehensive model for inter-agency collaboration. We have built strong referral system, fast-tracked it, medico-legal processes and ensured timely access to victim compensation, as well as established an emergency victim assistance fraud. Despite its progressive framework, the juvenile justice system continues to face some challenges. The convergence between juvenile justice boards, CWCs, police and support services often lacks consistency and structure. Delays in rehabilitation planning, weak legal aid and inconsistent application of child-friendly procedures contribute to gaps in justice delivery process. Additionally, limited access to psychological counseling and slow victim compensation processes hinder full reintegration of child into the society. Observation and children home often are regarded as operating under suboptimal conditions, poor hygiene, lack of medical personnel, inadequate security and limited educational or vocational support. Many